The observation deck of the Terran Relief Vessel 7 hummed with the quiet efficiency of a ship that had seen too much war. Nora stood at the transparent aluminum viewport, her reflection ghostly against the backdrop of a shattered world below. Epsilon Carinae 4 had been beautiful once, a colony of 3 million souls, human and alien alike, living in fragile harmony. Now it was ash and rubble, another casualty in the Dominion's merciless expansion. Dr. Hayes, the survivors are asking for you again. The voice belonged to Commander Chen, weary and apologetic. Nora didn't turn. Tell them I'm monitoring the supply situation. It wasn't entirely a lie. The ship's cargo holds were critically low. 32,000 refugees crammed into spaces meant for 8,000. Food synthesizers running at 140% capacity. Water recyclers failing. And still, more shuttles arrived every hour, carrying hollow-eyed people who had lost everything. She felt the commander's hesitation before he left. They all knew. The crew whispered about it in the mess hall, exchanged worried glances when they thought she wasn't looking. Dr. Nora Hayes, the ship's chief medical officer, hadn't eaten in 4 days. The ration pack sat untouched in her quarters. Each meal she skipped meant one more refugee could eat. Simple mathematics. Brutal calculus. She was one person. They were thousands, Dr. Nora? The voice was small, uncertain, speaking in the clicking consonants of Velrathi, the language of the feline-like species that had shared Epsilon Carinae IV with humans. Nora turned to find Kerr standing in the doorway, his gray-silver fur matted with dust, his large amber eyes too old for his young face. He was barely a cub, perhaps 7 in human years, clutching something wrapped in cloth. Kerr, you should be in the children's ward. It's past rest cycle. The cub's ears flattened against his skull, a gesture of stubborn determination Nora had come to recognize. You didn't come to evening distribution. I was busy. You're always busy. Kerr's tail twitched, betraying his anxiety. You smell wrong, Dr. Nora, like the sick ones before they stop. Nora's chest tightened. The Velrathi sense of smell was remarkable. They could detect chemical changes in blood composition, stress hormones, the early stages of starvation. There was no hiding from Kerr's concerned scrutiny. I'm fine, little one. Just tired. Liars have a smell, too. Kerr stepped forward, unwrapping the cloth to reveal a protein bar. Standard refugee ration. Probably his own dinner. Mama said humans saved us. Said without Dr. Nora, the fire sickness would have taken us all. The memory flashed unbidden. The quarantine tent. The hemorrhagic fever spreading through the Velrathi refugees. Her team working 72 hours straight to synthesize a treatment. They'd saved hundreds, including Kerr's mother. That was my job, Kerr. Then eating is your job, too. The cub held out the protein bar with both paws, a formal offering in Velrathi culture. Please, Nora's hands trembled. That's your food. I can't. A sound at the door made them both turn. More cubs appeared, a dozen of them, each carrying something. A fruit pack, a water bulb, a handful of nutrient crackers. They filed into the observation deck with solemn purpose, forming a small semicircle around Nora. What is this? Her voice cracked. The young ones organized it. Commander Chen's voice came from the doorway. We tried to stop them, but... He gestured helplessly at the determined faces of the cubs. Kerr spoke again, his voice stronger now. Elder Thessa says humans have a word, sacrifice. Says Dr. Nora sacrifices for us, but Elder also says packmates don't let packmates starve. Cubs discussed, added another young Velrathi, her fur a warm brown. Humans gave us home after the fire from Sky. Gave medicine. Gave safety. Now we give back. One by one, they placed their offerings at Nora's feet. Some were crying, tears matting the fur around their eyes. Others stood proud, tails high as if daring her to refuse. Nora's carefully constructed walls crumbled. She sank to her knees, eye level with the cubs, and the tears she'd been holding back for days finally came. I can't take your food, she whispered. You need it more than I do. Kerr pressed the protein bar into her hands, his small paws warm against her cold fingers. Dr. Nora saves everyone. Who saves Dr. Nora? The question hung in the air like a prayer. Around them, the ship continued its mercy run, carrying thousands of refugees to safety across the stars. In the cargo hold, synthesizers strained. In the medical bay, her staff worked miracles with insufficient supplies. And here, in this observation deck, a handful of children reminded her of a truth she'd forgotten. Humanity's strength wasn't in their ability to endure suffering. It was in their ability to inspire others to care. We do, Kerr said firmly, answering his own question. Pack saves pack. Commander Chen cleared his throat. The cubs voted to share portions of their rations. The adult Velrothi caught wind of it and matched the pledge. Then the Corosian refugees joined in. Now half the ship is organizing communal meals, rationing together so everyone, including our stubborn doctor, gets fed. Nora looked at the protein bar in her hands, then at the circle of young faces watching her with hope and concern. These children who had lost their homes, their world, their innocence, they were trying to save her. Pack saves pack, she repeated softly. Understanding finally settling into her bones, she unwrapped the bar and took a bite. It tasted like salt from her tears and something else, something indefinable and precious. It tasted like hope. Kerr's purr filled the observation deck, joined by others. The cubs pressed closer, offering comfort in the way of their species, their warmth a reminder that survival wasn't a solitary endeavor. Outside the viewport, Epsilon Carinae IV continued to burn. But inside the Terran Relief Vessel 7, surrounded by children who refused to let her disappear into her own sacrifice, Dr. Nora Hayes remembered why humanity reached for the stars in the first place, not to stand alone, but to ensure that no one ever had to.